What's up, people? This is the Peak Design Travel Duffel. It's empty right now. I'm about to fill it up. You wanna go on a little journey with me? Let's check it out. If you haven't seen it, I just reviewed the 65-liter Duffel pack, which is a sensational bag. Very interesting. It has straps for backpack. It has hip straps. Love this bag. Watch that video. Very interesting product, but it's very different. This is 35 liters. This is 45 and expands out to 65. This is carry-onable. This is, you might be able to sneak it on if it's not packed out very much, right? And if you're on one of the larger airlines, but there's a lot of airlines that won't let you sneak on with this sucker as a carry-on, right? So it's a check-in bag mostly. This is Peak Design's take on, what if you have a backpack? Like, let's say, I'll show you this in a second. I'll show you this another time. This is a really interesting bag that I can't wait to review for you. But let's say you have all your gear, like your regular day pack. I'm just taking this because I'm going to take some meetings in New York or something like that. I just need a duffel. I just need a duffel on the side. This is gonna go in the overhead compartment in the airplane. And then this bag, my day bag, is gonna just sit under the seat in front of me, right? This is kind of what this bag was designed for. That's what I think it's best as. But there's one caveat. There's one caveat on this thing that I think deserves a little, I don't know, just it's a little bit sobering. Okay, listen, I've got this thing loaded up now with this is more than I typically take, because you gotta be honest. My favorite way of traveling is one bag travel, minimal one bag travel, where I have one bag as all my daily carry stuff and like a packing cube. I'll show you it. My Peak Designs packing cube. So I just need a bag that can fit two things. Three things. All my shit I need for daily life. This Peak travel packing bag, or packing cube, right? I'll put a link to this in the description below it, this time code. Everything will be linked to it in time codes that I mentioned. This is just my favorite. It's just great. You can just fit a bunch of stuff in it. And this is minimal. That's minimal packing for me. I just pack that. And then my DOP kit, the Air DOP kit. If I can fit that into any bag alongside my laptop and all the things that I need for my daily carry and my work and whatever I'm doing in the world, then I can fit that bag typically under the seat in front of me. Where do my feet go? They just go to the side of the bag, or I pull the bag out a little bit. I'll have it between my legs. You know, like once we get going, you can do whatever you want with the bag. But this is the difference in that kind of travel. I can be the last person on the plane. I can go, like, they're just starting boarding now. I'll go find the Chili's Express and get some soggy, gross food. Don't do that. Matterful.co/snacks. Just buy a bunch of jerky and bars and load up before you go. Don't buy crap in an airport. Just don't buy anything in an airport except for beer, okay? Or booze. Some of you need it. So that's my caveat. That's how I typically travel. I have a whole page on matterful.co. I'll link to it at this time code with my favorite minimal travel bags, okay? Hybrid travel bags that you can use for daily carry when you get there, but you can also use as your travel bag to get there. But what's interesting about this, and I like this mode of travel too, where you just have a smaller daily carry that's like your main rig, and then you just throw on a duffel. This is how most people travel. You just throw on a duffel, and now you're carrying this sucker on, and you've got everything you need. Here's what's so interesting about this bag, all right? Sensational Materials, okay? Great weather-resistant, weather-proof materials. Your gear is protected from the elements, right? Also, killer external access on both sides. Both sides of this thing. You have a back pocket, which has a little bit of organization in here. You see this little admin panel? Just a simple, place to keep some things up against the bag, and then a nice space to throw your travel documents, your Bluetooth headphones, stuff like that. Speaking of Bluetooth headphones, let's just see the size. Here's my favorite. My favorite are these Sennheiser PXE 550s. I did a whole video. Over-ear, noise-canceling Bluetooth headphones have changed my life personally. I still rock these. There's others that have come out since these, and I still would prefer these over even the new ones because they still, these have not let me down. Touch controls and the whole 9 yards. I'll put a link in the description below to these. But look, you got your Bluetooth headphones right there. Fits perfectly. This is the kind of thing that we need external access for when we're traveling, okay? Now, with this, If it's in my daily carry, then it's in my daily carry. I already have that taken care of. What's interesting is that if this was your only travel bag, and let's say you had the Air Go Pack, which is my favorite, currently my favorite packable backpack, which means it curls up into nothing. You could just throw it into your bag. I typically will leave it like actually full of stuff like my computer, all that stuff, and put that in there, zip it up. Now I'm carrying this guy, and now I take stuff out of my daily carry bag and I've got it in here. I've got my travel documents, got my place to put my phone when I go through security. External access in travel is a big deal. So this has, on both sides, it has a big pocket and then an outside pocket, which is, depending on what's behind it, doable to get a water bottle in, which is my other sort of I have to have item. I have to have water when I travel because your body goes through a shit ton of compression and all sorts of stuff. Water just helps your body deal with some things, right? And you don't want to be drinking that water off the plane if you can help it. Well, if it's coming out of bottles and stuff, it's just, there's a lot of weird stuff on planes. And I find that if I have this and I have a few meat sticks and some bars, matterful.co/snacks, I can survive anything. Even better if I have some cannabis gummies and I'm just traveling by myself. It's like we're traveling across the country. It's like, dude, I am locked in. I got a Joe Rogan episode with or Aubrey Marcus and I haven't gone very far in it, but Aubrey Marcus and Jason Silva. You want to get you want to pull back your prefrontal cortex? I'll put a link in the description below to that. It's exciting. The main point I'm wanting you to get right now is this external access is actually really killer for a duffel bag like this. This external access is sensational, really good. Then we have our shoulder bag. I love this little, it's kind of like a gym duffel look. Shoulder strap's killer. It's just simple. It's just like one of their backpacks. So some people are gonna want more padding. I find that because the bag is 35 liters, we do not need more padding. It's small. You can go, you wanna go to Boob Canyon? Go to Boob Canyon. Bop-a-da-bop. Shout out to my ladies. I know that it's hard out there, girls. I know that it is. I honor you. Women are always trying to find ways to they all have their own way of dealing with the boobs with straps and sternum straps and this kind of stuff. It's like a whole world, you guys, that men, except for the most schmeebly of us, don't have to deal with. And the most schmeebly of us, yeah, man, there's a lot to deal with in carry and how it looks. And one of the things that's great about a duffel is it's a very dignified look. This is very I could have a Porsche. I don't at all. But my whole thing in life is I want to look like I might have an old Porsche. But I have a caveat here on these handles, okay? Let's talk about the nitty-gritty, okay? Here's the deal. These handles have a magnet in them. They magnet together. Awesome. The other thing is there's one side that has a little, very minimal Peak Designs logo. Love the look of this bag. Comes in a sage thing as well. Their sage color is really good. But you notice that there's no huge logos anywhere. There's a little black on black on black on black thing right here, which is nice. But no huge logos everywhere. Little logo on the handle help you orient yourself to what's going on. Why? Because you have to know what's going on. Because here's the deal. One side of this handle is Hypalon. What's good about it is that if your hands are sweaty or whatever, you get a nice grippy feel to this. It feels like but it's not soft and padded, right? It's not soft and padded the way that you might want it to be, but it's grippy and unsweaty. And that can be nice too. But my big gripe with these is this. First of all, every time you pick this up, you're gonna want to, there's a magnet in there. Magnets. How do they work? But you're gonna wanna line these up, and then you're gonna want to, can you see that there's one side that is, you can see the stitching on here, and there's actually a little lip right there that's actually kind of stiff. And on the other side, it's folded around. This is the side your hand's gonna like. This is the side your hand's gonna really dislike. It's gonna be irritating, actually. It can irritate your hand. So to me, let's see, again, it's because we have these triangle-y bits, this angled stuff, you wanna try to line that up in the right way. And then you really want like it. I just find that it's weird. It's just weird to grab these things and figure out where they want to go. And oftentimes it doesn't feel perfect. But right there is as perfect as I can get it, where you have the two folded over sides, soft sides right here. My hand comes down and grabs this, and then my fingers come around on this side. That's not annoying. That's not irritating. But it's one of those handle situations where you're gonna have to, every time you reach down and get, the magnets aren't very strong, so these things happen all the time. So you're gonna go like this, and you're gonna grab it, and you're gonna be like I just wanted it to, I don't like the way it feels when one of them has the Hypalon sort of stitching against the palm of my hand. So I get fussy, man. I get fussy about shit. And it's precisely this kind of shit, this handle stuff. This is where you interact with this bag again. And now you're at the airport, right? Now you're just at the airport. And you're about to go again. You're gonna put it down, pick it up, sit down, put it over there, go over there, order the coffee, put it down, get your wallet, get the stuff, right? And so to me, that is like, I would get a Velcro thing that goes around it. They designed the strap so that it wouldn't have something like that. But I find that once I'm in transit, I don't need to be able to get into my main compartment very much ever. And I find that this is a little, it just hasn't been satisfying. Now, I've been talking for a long time about it because it's been challenging for me because this is a goddamn near perfect travel duffel. It's lightweight, it's thin, it's super durable and protective, even though it's thin. It's got nothing but capacity. Plus external access, this is excellent. This thing's great, and it's small. It looks good when it's not packed out, like very full. It looks good when it's packed out very full. It's a very stylish kind of bag. It's clean and minimal. It's got a design ethos that I'm interested in. It's from a company that I respect, and I love their values. And so when it's on a handle that we're going like again and again and again and again and again with, I'm a little like, but here's the deal. If you just need a cheap, because this thing's like $100-something bucks, it's not very expensive, and it's going to last a bajillion years. It's going to last a really long time because the materials really, like the build quality, the materials, the custom clips, these zipper pulls, the zippers themselves with the water seal on there. It's just such a great like done deal kind of bag with this one caveat of this handle stuff. So if I find a good handle thing to wrap around this, I will put it at the description below. If you know of any, put it in the comments here. I'll be checking them out, and I'll put a list of them there in the description below at this time code, because I think that would be very simple to have, for instance, something that stays on one of these and then wraps around. Now, I heard Art, the one of the lead designers there, talking about how they just really dislike that on a bag, and I don't like it either. But what I don't like even more is just not being able to quickly and easily grab this. What I want is every time this drops down, my handles are right where I'm, like right there, accessible. Another thing I like about these handles is you can get your shoulder in like this. This is nice. You can also do backpacky kinds of things with these handles. All right, now it could be a lot worse. It could be a lot more uncomfortable because you have this flat part of the straps here, okay? So it's actually not that bad. And because they have all of these accessory straps, what these are clipped into themselves are these accessory straps right here. So they're like the ability to lash on different stuff. I bet there's some, no, there's not on this side at all. By the way, two excellent handles, the top and the bottom of the bag. Great grab handles. But they have accessory straps that you can just clip in to these things and go around, and like you can, I don't know what you do with those. But the thing is, like on this bag necessarily, there are some that I can imagine these guys putting out a strap in the future that not only is better at being a handle than these guys are, because this is a very easy thing to update over time and maybe to get different kinds of them. And I think this thing would be sick if there was a good backpack strap on it. I think this thing would be sick as a travel backpack. You would be stoked to put your daily carry or your, wait, it's already in there. Your air go bag or any of the others at the matterful.co/packable. I'll put a link to that huge list of my favorite packable backpacks. You put that right inside. You've got a lot of space. Let me show you this space. But like, I think this would be great as a travel backpack. Super lightweight, minimal, easy, no bullshit, fits under the seat in front of you. You can this is very interesting. So I'd be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if they put out some sort of like strap that works better as a actual backpack strap, and maybe one that is specifically a backpack strap. But at the same time, that's not gonna be as robust of a strap ever as this guy, right? On their bigger duffel, or this guy on their travel backpack, right? This is like, I think they made this to perfectly suit this, because you can carry on both of these, and now you have a ton of stuff, right? Tons of stuff. They make great products. You should get into some of these. Okay, let's talk about this capacity before we close out here, all right? Inside the bag, we've just got, it's quite a lot of visibility. Unlike the other bag, the larger one, they do have some little bit of stiffness here, which is nice because it helps that lip open like that. Really makes a big difference. But because of the way that the zipper comes together, you don't quite get the same kind of old medicine-y doctor, you should do some cocaine about the ghost in your blood kind of vibe. Those of you who don't get that reference, you should watch the video on the big Peak Peak duffel pack. But we're inside the bag. Here is my Peak travel packing cube. Here is another packing cube. This one's from Nomadic. I put a link to my favorite packing cubes in the description at this time code. And then here's my Air Dop kit, right? This is a simple, collection of stuff, but you've got a lot of space in here. And I'll tell you why. Because this material, it's like just one piece of material. There's nothing cutting into the footprint of the bag. There's no gimmicks here. There's no nothing. On the inside, there is a zippable pocket on either side. So just a simple zippable pocket, great place to hide your passport or something that you don't want any roaming fingers to get into. But a ton of space, really a lot of capacity, and this is what my favorite thing about this bag is. Actually, my favorite thing is the simplicity of that capacity. Simplicity like that with just a big gaping maw full of just pack me up, and then the external access, the weatherproofness of the materials, then just the general durability, like the gonna be here for a long timeness of this product, is all extremely exciting to me. The challenge is just these handles. And if I find out more about maybe I'm doing something wrong with them, then I will put a link in the description below right now, and the place that I mentioned it previously, with any updates on maybe there's something I'm doing wrong with this. But not my favorite handle, not my favorite. I think a lot of you are gonna notice that every time you pick up the handle, you're gonna wanna line these up, and that sometimes, because it's black on black on black on this one, and because you've got a Jamba Juice and a pretzel and a 2-year-old, you're just grabbing whatever and you're going, and you're in that mode where you're just putting up with something that isn't ideal. And that anytime we can minimize that, it makes travel just go smoother. Because when you're smooth in travel, and this is what I love so much about minimal travel is travel towards more smoothness when it's done correctly. If you are trying to minimally travel in a bag that's too small for the amount of gear that you need to bring, that's not actually the kind of ease that you're looking for in travel, right? So for me, travel is about ease, not just having less, but having the things that I need, and they're carried in a way that is sustainable for me. That's always gonna inspire you. That's always going to knock some of the barnacles off of your prefrontal cortex. It's always gonna show you in some of the ways that you've been deceiving yourself, right? Because that's what we can do. As humans, we've got this neocortex, which is apparently the thickness of a cocktail napkin on the outside of our brain. The rest of the stuff in our brain is loosely pretty much equivalent to what our primate ancestors who are alive right now, they're not our ancestors, sorry about that, but our primate relatives have the same sort of brain. And that's what my friend Science Mike says. That's why it's so important we study other animals, especially primates, because they don't have that whole new thing, that whole new thing gives us the ability to deceive ourselves. So someone says, hey, how did you like this cherry Coke? and they give you an answer, and you don't know if it's true or not. And actually, oftentimes they don't even know if it's true. And as a marketer, that's what I do for a living. Or what I did do, I mean, I'm kind of marketing right now, but really all I'm doing now is I'm saying like, here's my truth about this bag. And my truth about this bag is I'm concerned that a lot of you will get this and you'll feel the same thing about the handles, right? I want you guys to be buying stuff that you love, like one time, one and done, get the thing. The point is not the bag, the point is I wanted to find another P word for journey, but the point is not I guess really the point is the perspective, right? Because dude, this bag is gonna be perfect for so many of you. And I bet you there's so many of you who are gonna be like, yeah, the handle's not fucking perfect. Like, who cares? On with the show, right? Like, here we go. Like, I'm off with my life. Like, here I go in my life doing my things. And I have better things to worry about than if this handle is satisfactory. If that's you, you need to know that you're my hero, right? I'm learning to live like you. I'm learning to be like you. It's like the power is in the perspective. The point is the perspective. And I think in a lot of times travel gets us into that perspective. Travel can also become just a total idol, just a place for you to like feel superior to other people. Just a place for you to feel like you have significance and meaning in your life when really you're just masturbating. You're running from shit, right? So don't think travel's this panacea. But for what you guys are paying me to do is to tell you the truth about any of these products. And I love that job right now. Like, I really like that job right now. Because I get to just be honest with myself and with my senses and I like what I think speaks to us the most. Back to Boob Canyon. What I think speaks to us the most is the way things feel. Okay? The way they feel in our hands, whether or not we feel the trustworthiness of this thing. Because these things that we're using when we travel, they're companions, they're travel partners, okay? Because you're doing something that's challenging, all right? You're going into something that is unknown. You're going into some place where you don't have the control, right? So, for this reason, the things we travel with can matter a great deal. My advice to you is to just do some research and watch the videos. Preferably get into a backpack. Get into a bag. Like, this is the one that I'm recommending a lot to people who can afford it, just because you're gonna have it for forever. It expands. It has great water bottle pocket. This is the Peak design. I'll put a link in the description below. Tons of organization, right? Tons of organization and ways for you to make this your thing. My whole challenge with this bag is I have to bring a day bag with me. I have to bring that Go day bag, because I'm not gonna walk around Paris and visit the Louvre with this thing. I'm not gonna go through Morocco with this thing, even though it clips down. It does this thing where there's these buttons here, and it clips down into a 35 liter mode. But my apologies to the Peak team. It's still too much for me. And Peak, this is the next product I want from you. I want you to solve my problem of I need a great bag for daily carry that also is like either expandable or capable of carrying stuff, or having something that clips on that is like my travel bag compartment that doesn't look like the everyday backpack from Peak Designs. It doesn't look like a rocket pack or like Elon's, and that bag, the Peak Everyday bag, is really sensational. I mean, for people who use it, especially for drones, photographers, people who need that kind of padding and rigidity, I do not. I want a bag that feels like soft goods. You know what I mean? Like something that's like heritagey if possible. There's nothing heritage about this, but I love it because I just think this material that these guys are using, all of these, they're like kind of wizards of soft goods right now. And a lot of the soft goods industry is like, what are you guys doing? Like, where's the Cordura? All right, we could talk for hours. But here's the point. The point is your perspective. And there's things you can do in your life that can shift your perspective. Sometimes you need to buy a new pair of running shoes before you actually get out and run. I've been like that, man. No bad. I get it, right? But at the same point, notice when you're just buying shit. It's like joining this is old Merlin Mann quote about like joining a Facebook group about productivity is like buying a chair about running. Do you know what I mean? There's nothing productive about Facebook. There's nothing travel-y about buying products. It's like the opposite of travel, right? But sometimes you need your gear, get set up. And I know a lot of you, this is actually gonna be a part of your kit, and you're gonna learn to love it because it is profoundly worth learning to love, okay? Getting some little trick that you do on this if this annoys you the way that it kind of irritates me. But what I like about this thing is it's just the perfect little companion, okay? Like I said in the other video, there's other bags, there's other duffels that might even be better for you depending. Like I love this packed one. It's a very stylish, and this is like some of my favorite materials, right? Just a very classy bag. It organizes, like pulls open like suitcase style. Killer. And great for if you have a daily carry, and then you have the duffel. But then also this air duffel is sensational. It's like a trunk, like those old Louis Vuitton trunks or something like that. Like you're going on the Titanic and you're bringing that big trunk like to camp or something. This is like that. You can just stuff it full of shit. Really, really robust materials, solid, decent organization. But typically it's used with a day pack. And the same thing with this from Tortuga, which is actually what, I really like this one because it's huge. There's definitely some airlines you probably wouldn't get this on carry-on. But you can pack it out with a lot of stuff. And then you've got this huge, this is like a very uncool looking strap. Tortuga doesn't care. They care about it being able to be as comfortable as possible. Huge padding and a very robust top piece that goes over it, so it distributes that weight a bunch. Lots of organization. This thing is really great to travel with as well. So there's a lot of options when you fly the Friendly Skies. You guys, there's a lot of options. It's kind of fun to choose for you, right? Here's the way that I would think about it. Okay, either you go full travel backpack, right? Full travel backpack. I have a huge list on matterful.co, my favorite travel backpacks. The Peak Design is up there at the top, I think, right now. There's a lot there's a lot of other ones though, like the Heim Planet Monolith 40 liter is like one of my favorites that I'm recommending to some of my like friends, just because it's a little bit cheaper and it just has so much space. I'll put a link to that one in the description below at this time code. But you can get a travel backpack, right? And just haul your gear around in a backpack. You can get a minimal bag and try this whole minimal travel thing. I highly recommend pick a weekend trip to do a minimal travel with, right? And see how few things you can take with you. This is what I love so much about finding shirts, pants, shoes that just like, I just wear the one thing. And then you have like an accessory that makes it look different every day, or maybe you just don't even need to do that, but like hats are pretty easy to pack. Or you do this like just your regular daily carry with a duffel. And I gotta be honest, after all the travel that I've done, there's something that's like, I really love about that, because I don't have to move out from one bag to another. I can just stick with what I'm in right now. You know what I mean? Like this one, I won't show you this because I'm gonna review it soon and it's really great. But it's small, it's businessy, it's a really stylish bag. That, and then I just have this, and I'm walking through the airport, everything's fine. I can go over my shoulder with it. If I wanna be hands-free, backpack and this. It's not that bad. All right, y'all, you have a lot of options when you fly the Friendly Skies, so thanks for choosing this video. I hope this was helpful. I do videos like this all the time. I love to have a conversation about products, and I love to have really the conversation about the lifestyle behind the products. The purpose of the product is more interesting to me than the product themselves, and I'm interested in the products when they help me understand what my purpose for, like, behind that product really is. And so that's what we're about, and that's why I named my company Matterful. And it's not really a company, it's just a website where I keep lists of all this stuff. So matterful.co, why? Because this is the stuff that matters. It's the stuff that matters. It's the things that matter. For what? For the work that matters. For the life that matters. For the fucking human being who's just bouncing off decisions and moments in the world going like, what is it all about? We don't know. We don't know. We haven't figured it out yet, but we've been spinning on this planet for a long time. We seem to have evolved here. We seem to have just like erupted. Like life just seems to have just happened here, and we can't tell if it's anywhere else. But it looks like promising that it might be. And it also looks impossible to get there. It's just so fucking far away. It's so much work to get off this planet. It's just so much work to get out of our gravity well. It costs so much money and so much energy to get the fuel, to get those it's insanity, Sean Hannity. But we are the opposable thumb. you know, we're this thing. We're like the opposable thumb of the planet. Dolphins seem to be pretty intelligent, but they're not building spaceships. Octopus can can solve puzzles and shit. And they still haven't figured out how to get out of the gravity well, right? Unless they're like sending signals to Dog Star Sirius, you know what I mean? I like when I say, you know what I mean? After I've said something that almost nobody's gonna know what I mean. But that's what's fun about the internet. We all get to mix it up, and be kind to your fellow humans. Because man, woman, young, old, gender everywhere, all the things. Human, people, human. Everyone knows what it's like to feel pain. Everyone knows what it's like to be ashamed and to be afraid and to have the question of, am I going to make this decision out of fear or out of trust, right? And I'm not telling you to go out and just start trusting everything in the world, because, you know, you're gonna get cut. But you can notice that in your life right now, and basically every decision that comes across, you're gonna have this, you actually do have the choice. You have this incredible choice of how you're gonna respond. And so much of my work in meditation and psychedelics, cannabis use, yoga, even before, back in the day when I used to be like a hardcore Christian guy, the contemplative path and this kind of stuff is about learning to be the difference between a reaction and a response. Okay? Travel well, y'all. Respond. Don't react. Respond. Response has a kind of taken into consideration-ness in it. Right? And there's more of you there. You can respond, and it can be like, you know, it can cause challenges to the other people around you. But as long as you know it's a response, then you actually have the ability to get that feedback from other people and potentially change your response. Whereas reaction, you're gonna have to defend because our fucking, you know, monkey brains. Defensiveness is just not where you're gonna find the things that you want. If you're continuing to prove that you're right all the time with your spouse, with your friends, don't just get over it. Just like you're actually more about well, that's not necessarily true, because sometimes you're right. So it's up to you, man. You could fight to be right. You could prove to everybody that you're right, and you can set yourself as king of your own little, what David Foster Wallace calls the skull-sized kingdom in your head. You can be all alone and super sovereign in there. But I think your sovereignty actually really is hungry for interaction with like other strong sovereignties. Other strong, and this is where love gets very interesting. My love with my wife is like, she's a very strong woman. I'm a very strong man. And not physically, just like in terms of stubbornness and being a total shithead. But but because of that strength, when we rub up against each other, we edge up. We get sharpened. This is a video about a travel bag, and somehow we got here. Because in my head, it's just literal, like actual rabbit holes. There's just rabbit holes all the way down. But they all point to this thing where you're in there, I'm in here, and we're trying to figure out what we're doing, what to do, if you're doing it right or if you're doing it wrong. Anybody have a bunch of latent shame, like they're for some reason feel like they're always doing something wrong? You might not be doing something wrong. You might just be thinking that you are, and thinking that you're doing something wrong is basically not different than doing something wrong. If you can't change the thinking of doing something wrong, it's almost like you are doing something wrong because you think you are. Did you follow that one? I don't know if I did, but I don't know if I'm done talking yet. So I better stop now before we get out of hand. What a silly rant here. But every once in a while, I like to turn this fucking thing on and I like to connect with you fuckers, because what are you doing out there? What is the world? What is, like, how hard is it to get paid? It's hard. It's challenging. And then if you are getting paid, how hard is it to realize that some of your best friends aren't getting paid, right? They haven't figured out what their value is in the world and how to charge for what their value honestly is. And so we have people who can afford shit and experiences and travel, fucking products, things in life that actually make my life better. $300. It's a lot of money for some people. It's fucking piss in the bucket for some people. We all are on this goddamn planet, and it is a spaceship. And if you're fucking trying to sink someone else's boat, it's just your boat that you're trying to sink, right? We're all on the same boat, and we don't know how to do this, you guys. We've been trying to figure out for like 50,000 years. Tribalism and like nationalism. My crew, my tribe, my guys. You're with us. He gets it. He's with us. He's with us. Superiority, intelligence. People who are like, oh, you're too dumb to actually understand what's right. You're too like, and some people really are. They haven't grokked it. They can't get it, right? And there's all this patience to some brains, right? Patience, compassion, kindness. It's a fucking big world, man, and it is hard to do. It is hard. Maybe it's not hard. Maybe I make it too hard. And that's probably why, if any of you are still watching, you're paying attention, is because it's hard for me and I verbalize it. It's really hard for me. Staying in love with my wife, staying vital in my relationship with her, staying, compassionately connected with my son, my 9-year-old, watching him come online, trying to figure out, how do I set this kid up for life? How do I not do to, how do I wish I was set up for life? Maybe better than I was. And in what ways was I set up for life really fucking good? And I didn't even know it. And in fact, I resented my parents for that. I resented my dad for that. And then you got that whole thing later in life where you're like, fuck dad, I'm sorry. Dad, I am sorry. There's my pull up the prefrontal cortex, just peer right into my amygdala and see what's clicking in there. I hope you found this helpful and for the bag that we started talking about. And I hope you head over to Matterful.co, get on the email list because we do giveaways there. All right, free bags and free products. And we're gonna do the next one. I don't know when, but let's just say the last time we gave away like thousands of dollars worth of bags, and I just like farted that giveaway out. I was just like, I don't know, like I'll just email some people, and forgot to email a bunch of companies that were like so stoked, would have loved to give bags away. So Matterful.co, get on the email list there, and then and check out the lists of the travel bags, of the duffel bags, of the men's shirts, of the accessories for carry, gym bags, work bags, all that stuff. And follow along, check, subscribe here or don't, because this is a lot, And I'm not gonna get more manageable. I'm gonna become less manageable. And I know that some of you are like, yay, and others of you are like, what a fucking idiot. And I'm fine with that. That's fine. Talk to you guys later. Thanks for watching. Love you. Bye-bye.